Shalom. This is GMS Louisiana Saints the New Orleans camp with another pre-camp lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to
Yahawah, Ba'Hashem, Yahushua, Ba'Hashem, B'Chakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word and showing this sincere to the Filipinos of the globe and brothers and to the end. Shalom. Shalom. And with this pre-camp lesson, we're just going to get into the fact that, hey, when Esau comes down like a flood on the elect and the entire nation of Israel, the entire world to establish his new world order, don't get scared, Akim. Hey, you should actually be looking forward to that day, because that's the time when Yahawah Ba'Hashem Yahushua is going to set up that standard to protect us if you're of that elect number or whatever thing comes your way. Because we can clearly see that Esau's putting the agenda together to come against us, to get everybody to take that mark, kill off a lot of people, and establish that new world order.
This is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. It says, "So shall they fear the name of Yahawah from the west."
And that's the elect over in the Western Hemisphere right now, over in North America, over in Babylon the Great. Hey, we're fearing his name right now by coming out here and diligently pushing this word so that we can take the blood off of our hands and have that protective hedge, that standard as it's about to go into over us when Esau comes in like a flood, comes down like that devil in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12.
And his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahawah shall lift up a standard against him.
A point blank period. Like the ultimate chess move. When Esau makes his move to think he's going to be checkmate, the Most High is going to take the whole board and proclaim ultimate chessmate. Pretty much destroy the whole damn board. Because if you're of that elect number, well, there are going to be some martyrs. For the most part, hey, the elect are going to, a lot of the elect won't have to go through that. And they're going to have that standard set up for them, so they're going to get through anything that Esau sets in the way to take us out. And brothers are constantly having doing videos and having visions on that standard being set up. One I can remember is a brother said he was on a bridge and some troops got him and they strapped him up to a chair. And right when they were about to put the microchip in his arm, he said a spirit came on him to break those restraints and start going to work. And there's plenty other accounts of brothers going through situations, running away from troops and dreams, getting shot at, etc., etc. But some way the Most High gets them out of it. So that's what you got to have going into your mind as we get closer and closer to all hell breaking loose during Jacob's trouble. Hey, before we did this pre-camp video, we were talking about all the possible scenarios that Esau is going to bring to come after Jacob. But then, hey, as we're going in with this pre-camp, that standard's going to be set up and you're going to make it through it. Hey, acceptable men have to go through the fire of adversity so they can be tried like that fine, so they can have those impurities burnt off and be like that gold that's tried and refined. So hey, Akim, we got to go through it. You should have known we had to go through it when you put your hand to the plow. But knowing that at the same time, you know, as we're going into, that standard's going to get set up. So put all your faith and your chips in Yahawah Ba'Hashem Yahushua. We're doing everything we were ordained to do. And what did the Most High say? You do this, I'll do this for you.
Right. This is Sirach chapter 27, verse 5. The furnace proveth the potter's vessels. So the trial of man is in his reason. So the furnace proveth the potter's vessels. All right. It says the furnace proveth the potter's vessel. All right, meaning what? It shows how strong the make of it is, man. All right, and the furnace is that fire of affliction.
Because the furnace, what it does is hot metals, hardness, man, and make it harder. It brings it through a stress process to where it stresses the metal so much to where it's expanding, shrinking to the point where it gets to a process where when you take it out of there and it cools off, it's much harder. It's much more galvanized.
It's the form you want it to be, that perfected form. Versus what are you going to be when we're those vessels tried in the fire of the furnace? We're going to come out on the other side harder, and also ultimately, if we're of that elect number and get saved, with those new spiritual bodies, having the laws, statutes, and commandments in us, and being the first fruits in the kingdom of heaven.
That's why it says, so the trial of man is in his reason. Meaning that's where his heart, is his heart going to be breaking? Because it said weakness breaking strength in your heart. It's a Sirach. All right, it says, shit, I think it's what?
Real quick.
You get it after.
This is 1 Peter's 4, and I'm gonna start at 16. It says, "Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him be not ashamed, but let him glorify God on this behalf. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it begin at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of God?"
What did it say at the beginning? If you're a Christian, be not ashamed, going through affliction. That just goes to show that the Most High is dealing with you as sons, as it says in Hebrews chapter 12. Hey, I'm gonna just get it out.
It says,
Okay.
if you don't mind me saying, it says, let him glorify God on this behalf. Because if, like the brother was saying, if you suffer as a man that follow Yahawah, the Heavenly Father is going to live with that standard for you. You know, you think just because we're telling you, hey man, we're not gonna take the MOB and we're not gonna take the Max, you think the Lord is gonna leave us out here to drive, just like out to drive, man? He's gonna give you glory because you didn't do that which the world deems good.
Hey, the scriptures say he that faint in a time of adversity, his strength is small. His faith is small. Your faith is small. So a time of adversity is proving what you was made of, man. What you got built up with. That's why in a man trial, it's his reasoning. Meaning, look, I'm gone. Fuck what I learned. I'm about to leave off what I learned. That's why I said wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time.
It says, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, where should the ungodly and the sinner?
Hey, no pathway at all, because they're not doing the works. Hey, they're gonna go through the fire, but they're gonna be like that tin, and that wood, and that dross that gets burned up. They're not gonna be that precious silver and gold that gets refined and comes out the other end perfected.
It also says the righteous going to be scarcely saved, right? You know, so therefore, you know, we're going to go through different trials and tribulations, but ultimately the Heavenly Father is going to be there to take care of it.
Hey, again, with that scarcely saved, like you were saying, we're going to go through it, and there's going to be a lot of close calls, but you got to know that Yahawah Yahawah is setting up that standard to get you through all these pitfalls when that great flood comes in. It'd be like a dam for that flood, so the water just hits the dam and goes right around it. It washes everything else away but you.
You gotta drive fear. Because it says, that's the spirit. I got a video set up for it. Perfect love casts out fear. Love is the fulfilling of the law. So being locked into the law and the commandments and meditating thereof is gonna cast the fear out, man. All right? Because the fear is that's the portraying of your Socorro, man. Meaning what? You no longer, y'all can come through.
Fine.
Fear is the portraying of your Socorro. Your Socorro is Yahawah. So once you lose, you get fear, you forget that he gonna help you, man. All right? And the Lord ain't dealing with no fear because he said the fearful and the unfaithful shall take their part in the lake of fire.
And they said, I haven't given you the spirit of fear.
Yeah. But of love, peace, and a sound mind. Sound mean what? Planted and grounded, man.
Yeah, the two real quick one says, look at the generations of old.
I got that real quick.
What happened with Peter? The boat?
Yeah.
He told Peter to go out there and walk on the water.
Yeah.
Peter was like, he was shook. You know what I'm saying? To the point where the Lord had told him, oh, you little faith, man.
Yep.
You know? And that really kind of messed with Peter.
Yeah, it shook him up.
Yeah, it shook him up,
The
man.
prince of the air was out there.
Yeah.
That wind was the devil. Trying. That's the prince of the air. He caused a massive windstorm to come, man.
It wasn't light out there, so just walking on it was just simple.
Yeah, that was
trying to face.
yeah. He tried you in your faith. That was Satan, man.
Yeah, and like I said, several times the Lord was getting on Peter ass a lot of times. Peter called Peter the devil. Told Peter you got a little faith. A lot of times, man.
Hey, but you notice Peter was walking on the water. Peter was walking on the water, until he realized the situation he was in and realized I'm walking on in a flood. And then as he started losing that faith, that's when he started drowning. You can't be doing that. You got to be walking on that narrow path, and when everything comes your way, just know that standard is set up for you.
Same thing. Let's jump to Esau. Even though I'm going to bring up a hypothetical situation, but you remember X-Men with Magneto. Magneto, he kept getting his thoughts of him being a little boy and the so-called cost. His parents was in that place, right? What happened when he was trying to teach himself how to bend the metal? When he did the same thing Peter did. It started, and he started realizing what he did. He lost it for a minute. Then there came a time where
he controlled his emotions.
And shit. Then it was it. Same thing with the Hulk. Hulk always, every 5 minutes, he busting green on that bitch. He tearing up shit. Then he fall like, man, you all right today, huh? He's like, you ain't mad? I said, I'm always mad. Control. You gotta control it, man. You know? And that's what we're going to do, even with faith in the most. Like this brother was saying, in the beginning of this lesson, we were talking about a lot of things. Well, the Lord will have you in a situation where it looks like you damn near out of here, man. There's no way of getting out of this. But yet, in the midst of that, you're going to still have to hold strong to the very end, man. To the last second. You know?
The soldier might have a gun to your head. Like you feel the iron of the barrel on your dome. And you hear it click. But hey, what are you going to do in that situation?
I never brought it down here. You know, Brother Marcus out, he said, it was a situation like, it was a situation with him. He had one of those dreams where he got caught up. He said, he could hit a pop and everything. You know how you hit a pop? They told me woke up was on a bench with me. And I said some wild shit to him about, you know, now you understand some shit like that. That was the whole job with me. But all of them, they got this situation with the troops and other people who stick guns at him. He had to have faith, he had to have spiritual power.
This is Sirach 38 and 18. It says, for of heaviness cometh death, and the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength. So when you weary, all right, and you scared, you fearful, it's gonna break your strength. You're gonna forget the water. That's why the scriptures that it going to the intestinal fortitude. That's having your guard. That short way of saying, have your loins girded up, man. You might have to go through some shit that's gonna take a man to go through. You gonna have to be a man. That's it. That's the Lord got that for your life. That's for your life because He knew you could deal with it. The Lord ain't gonna give you nothing you can't deal with, man. I don't care how far out it seems, man.
If I could just back up what you said about what it say, the heaviness of your mind
Break your strength.
And what's it saying in Jeremiah 17? The heart is deceitful above all things. Going back to Peter, he was walking on water, but then the heaviness of his heart or his mind is what got him started to. And imagine if Yahawah wasn't there, he would have got swept away in that storm, and
He would
that
have
would have
died.
been
He
it.
got drowned. Yeah.
It's the scripture. He said, I turned straight to the scripture. I turned straight to the scripture. This is Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 14 says, for the thoughts of immortal men are miserable, and our devices are uncertain. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle weighed down the mind, that muzzle upon many things.
Hey, this body is perpetually wicked. What did Paul say? That which I would do, I do not. But that which I do not is what I do. Saying like, hey, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. We're in these chains of darkness. So of course, being a mortal man, breathing air, feeling the blood pump through your body, having to eat and shit and think, it's natural for you to give in to the cares of this body and be afraid when you know pain's coming your way. But that's in the time. But that's when the spirit kicks in. That's when what you've been doing right now kicks in. Yeah. You've been doing the drills. You've been going through everything during practice. So when the game time comes, it's second nature. And you know that Yahawah is going to set up that standard for you and get you through whatever comes your way.
Okay? You can't adjust the change. If something is about to change sporadically, and you don't know what the change is, you got to adjust once it done came your way. You can't adjust before it comes. That's why when we learning the scriptures and getting it in, the Lord like, look, I'm putting that in y'all because what's coming Y'all gonna have to bring it out, y'all, once it come. You see?
Hey, practice.
Yeah.
Again, running through the drill so when it's game time,
So it's game time.
you just snap into it.
But it might go another way in game time.
That's what we're practicing.
You got it, right?
We're gonna
Why
bring
don't go
our
to the
education,
game,
man. It's gonna be thrown out of us. We'll be knowing, we'll be believing, right? It's all gonna be about the teaching in school. The strong gonna survive, man. Ultimately, the elect gonna survive. Yeah, survive with a fist. You know?
And the only way you got a chance at surviving, that's clear. We're gonna get this verified. You gotta have this. They even have a shot. They got something to go have this. They ain't gonna survive. You gotta have the word of the Lord to even have a shot.
This revelation. This Revelation 2 and 10. It says, fear none of those things that thou shalt suffer.
Hey, point blank period. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. None. He didn't say fear some of those things. Fear one of those things. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
It says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Those are all different trials, man. Some brothers gonna have to deal with Eve coming to your house, rolling up on you, taking you out, throwing you in a paddy wagon. You got to deal with those.
Hey, they're already setting up this agenda with domestic terrorism. Those pushing conspiracy theories, and then over in
I
California.
got something even better. I got something. I'm gonna run it by y'all. Go ahead.
And then you got some.
It's to the point where this man, he has a special virus. He got a special
Concoction.
ready for those conspiracy theories. He got some shit that he would like us. He got some shit where he wanna inject in us, kill all that you have.
Spiritual connection.
He wanna kill that shit.
Hey, so you can just not have the spirit and not know that standard's coming. So you're just thinking, I'm in this flesh, and what comes my way, I gotta bend the knee unto this man. I gotta bend the knee unto Baal.
Potion of fear. He trying to hit you with the potion of fear, man.
The flesh dumb. The flesh don't know it's dumb. It don't know nothing like it.
The reason why, because it is too.
It don't know nothing. I got that word.
If I could just, but and over in California right now, you've got a senator saying that those that don't take the potion can be considered domestic terrorists.
Yeah.
And those that talk against it, and what's our whole platform based on? Going against this system and what they're pushing. So we're the main target in the bullseye, in the crosshairs.
Got a little more. It says that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, but be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
And that tribulation for 10 days just means I'm out of tribulation for whatever your lot is. But what does it say? Be thou faithful unto death. Because like we said at the beginning of the video, there will be some martyrs. So whatever your lot is, whether it is to be a martyr or whether it is to go through a trial and make it, but you're not going to know you're going to make it until you go through it. You just got to be faithful until death and hold fast. And what it say? You're going to receive that crown of life. You're going to be of that elect number, the first fruits.
And you got to think about it as well, man. We talking about the Heavenly Father, the creation of everything. If you do die, the Heavenly Father may make your death light, man. You know?
There is a scripture that says, those who die in the Lord gonna come back. When the Lord come back, you're gonna come back with him.
That's right.
Right? To take this man down, man. Right? That's scripture. Right?
The dead in Yahawah shall rise first.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you died in this truth, all right, you go to the heavens, you're gonna be doing a good work, you're gonna be crying for the brothers down there, you're gonna be asking the Lord, how long, Lord? And when it's time, the Lord deems his son, give him that okay, it's on now. It's on, handle your business. You gonna go with him, man.
Hey, think like this. What'd you just say? The Most High may make you have a light death. They say your head's in that guillotine, and right when the blade goes down, you fall asleep before it hits, and when you open your eyes up again, you're on that massive chariot with Yahawah next to him in that new body, and he's looking at you. He's like, "You did well, son." And then you're waiting for the main event.
Yeah, a brother. I believe I don't know if he's a student or he's a Burton camp up in the Colorado camp, if I'm not mistaken. Well, this brother here got shot in the he got shot in the neck and some shit in the head. That brother said he said, man, the only thing I remember is just looking at the nigga with the gun and pops on. He said I was done. He said I died before I died before the bullet even hit me. He died 4 times, man. He was telling his remembrance of the spirit world and everything, man. You know, and like the Lord said, he's nothing but a little stink, man. Why is you worried?
Hey, that's what
Why is you worried?
I got the scripture. That's why the scriptures speak about don't have matters what a cowardly man that was. Because this a war we at. And if you cowardly, meaning you fearful, all right, you ain't gonna, in that day, you supposed to lay your life down for your brother, man. You supposed to be able to be reliable, dependable, standing firm. Because if a man see you standing firm and you serve the Lord, that's gonna invigorate him. It's gonna invigorate him to want to stand for the Lord too. And where 2 is, his way is more strict. You see?
If I can say just
One
real
thing too, if it's not a burden in the flesh, ultimately you gotta lay your life down for Yahawah. He did it for you.
Yep.
So
For real.
if you're not with a brother that day, no matter where it comes, where you might jump from this brother to save his life or whatever. You only gotta do it for Yahawah. You gotta stand 10 toes down. This ain't no faking and shaking out here.
What you get into?
You better know.
What he sound like? You gotta know what you doing.
Yeah.
You gotta know what you done. A country boy navigating the world, you gotta know what you done. You know? But this is a cop. And when you die for Yahawah, you're dying for the word. He's the word. This word. All right, knowing of what you have learned, who you have learned from and been assured of. Meaning like this is the assurance of it, man. All right, that's your testament, man. You see?
I thought your page was falling.
It's this coward. In the online etymology, it's the word coward. One who lacks courage to meet danger or shrinks from the chance of being hurt, man. But we being hurt for a righteous cause. It ain't like you dying as a nigga because you was, shooting people, robbing, knocking people over the head. You did a righteous thing, man. All right? You died in your honor. That's a memorial. It says from Coattail, denoting that one carries on some action or possesses some quality with derogatory connotation, which it goes into the animal metaphor on turning the tail, tucking your tail between your legs, man. A man gird his loins up, man.
So right here, it was something different. We're gonna go with that word. I get what you. Yeah, I got you. I get what you. That's fine.
Just get that.
Yeah. I could just say, the scripture I was gonna go into, 2 Ezra 14:14, talking about letting go of those mortal thoughts, man, that weak nature, Yeah.
That's the spirit.
This Sirach 2:10, it says, look at the generation of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
Look at the generations of old. It was the same Romans. Hey, everything written aforetime is written for our learning. We have many magnificent works of our forefathers and the trials they went through and the faith they had, and they got through it. The one I remember the most is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Hey, they were in ancient Babylon, just like we're in modern day Babylon today. And they were thrown in the furnace for not worshiping after the image of Nebuchadnezzar. Just as we're going to go through it for not bending our knee to Baal, for taking the mark of Babylon, the mark of the beast. And what did they do with their faith? They went into the fire and were tried and came through it without even a scratch. So you gotta have that same mindset once this flood comes our way. Because again, like we opened up in Isaiah 59 verse 18, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, then the Most High will set up that standard. We're gonna be that spiritual dam in the midst of that great flood. And the waters are just gonna go past us and wash away everything else, but we're still gonna stand strong. As long as we're staying strong in this word and endure like good soldiers to the bitter end. Oh, come. So with that, We hope this pre-camp lesson was edifying to you, sincere Akim out there. And again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to
Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, diligently pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.